I'm sitting up here starting to watch this movie, and there's a scene where the couple, I guess they finished making love or something, and it's a sex oriented scene, and then it just crossed my mind. I'm like, you know, yes, sex is important, okay? You have to have it to make babies. That's number one. Number two, feels good. So a lot of people like to do it for enjoyment. But it's not everything. It's not the most important thing. And it's damn sure not the best thing. It might be the best thing you can experience between a man and a woman. But don't make your decisions based on sex. Because if your mindset is that this is the only life you're going to live, then yes, you're going to have, well, I want to have as much sex as I can, and I want to make as much money as I can, and I want to get as much power as I can, and own as much, and have as much material this and material that as I can, if you see this as your only lifetime. Okay, so I can understand that mentality from people who believe that, but the reality is that is a false belief. This is not your only lifetime. You have lived before, and you will live many, many more times. So personally, I've lived over 400 lifetimes. I question that because I'm like, well, damn, I'm still coming back, and I'm still having these experiences. I would think I would have learned a lot more to have lived 400 lifetimes. But so, with that said, we must experience everything there is to experience as a human being on earth. And that is one of the reasons why there's reincarnation and why we have many lifetimes, because you can't experience everything in one lifetime, you know? So that's why. Um, so put sex in its proper perspective. And ask yourself, well, why, first find out that there is reincarnation. Do some reading, do some studying, learning. I'm telling you. And I'm telling you this so you'll stop wasting time, okay? And hopefully orient your life to objectives and goals that will get you along farther on your spiritual life journey. So, yes, we are spirit beings who live in human bodies, okay? So, we live out a lifetime, our body dies, our spirit leaves our body and goes back into the spiritual realm, and waits until the time is right to come back and learn the next set of lessons and have the experiences. So that means that we got to have the right family, mother and father, the right environment. All those things have to be pretty much in order before you could come back again. Plus, you get to choose when you come back. But I'm not trying to get all into that right now. What I'm talking about is the focus on sex and on material things. You know what I'm saying? I believe if people knew that we live many, many lifetimes, these things would become less important and be put in the correct, proper perspective. Because we have so many people who just live to have that physical satisfaction, that sexual satisfaction, or who just live to beat out the Joneses, to have the best car and several cars and travel all across the world and live in a mansion and have all this money. And those are not the most important things when you know that you live several lifetimes and that you are actually a spirit being having a human existence. Okay? So we come here because it's like you start off in kindergarten and you go to the 12th grade and then you graduate. So you come here and you learn lessons. There are lessons we have to learn, okay? The ultimate lesson is to love yourself and to love others. What is a basic definition of love? Just being kind. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. But do not put up with any abuse or mistreatment. Learn how to be assertive. Okay? I'm not going to talk about, I'm not a religious person. I believe in God. I know God exists. I believe in Jesus. I'm very spiritual. I used to be religious. I grew up Baptist. It helped me at the time when it was beneficial for me. Then I learned more, learned about all the other religions and all about spirituality. And so now I don't claim any religion. Matter of fact, I'm psychic. And so most of the religions wouldn't claim, well, I ain't gonna say most, but Christianity certainly wouldn't claim me. They would say I'm the devil. Well, fuck Christianity. Um, for that judgment. But y'all, okay, so let me just put it this way. My goal is to achieve the Christ consciousness. What does that mean? That means I look at Jesus, the Christ, who achieved the Christ consciousness. He had command over his emotions. He understood mankind. He had love for himself and he had love for mankind. He did not come to do any harm to man. He only came to help. So that is my goal, to achieve the Christ consciousness, to be like Jesus the Christ. And Jesus is not the only man who achieved the Christ consciousness. I'm sure there are women too, but there are others who achieved the Christ consciousness, and they were written about too. And we're all supposed to be, and to become like Jesus. Now, I'm not saying don't become. I'm not saying become Christian. Let me make that clear. I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm saying obtain the Christ consciousness, and that is one of the primary reasons for our existence. Okay, and I will, what I most liken it to is like when Adam and Eve, the little myth tale in the Bible, how we were exposed to good and evil because Adam and Eve were curious. We had the option to not experience all these things, but they chose that. They said, well, no, we want to experience. So now, because of that choice, and we would have made it too because we just like them, we have to go and experience all the good and all the evil that exists. And as we do that, we learn. So with me saying that, I'm saying nothing is truly bad. Nothing. God knew what all could happen to us when God created us. But God has a plan designed for our good and our betterment. And if when we look at it with a short-term vision, or outside of of spiritual perspective, or without the advanced understanding, some things could look really, really bad. But I learned through this lifetime not to judge things as bad or good. What matters is how I make use of what happens and how I choose to look at what happens. So, for example, and I gave this in a previous video, say someone may have hit my car while I was driving, and I was on my way to the airport, and as a result of being hit, although I wasn't injured, I missed my plane. But then come to later find out that plane ended up crashing and all the people on it died. So how you gonna judge? Are you gonna say the fact that I got hit in the car was a horrible, evil thing, unfortunate thing? I certainly wouldn't, because guess what? I'm still alive. I wasn't on that plane that went down and all those people died. So I don't judge things just in and of themselves. I judge them according to how other situations, events, and people are impacted, and how I choose to view it. And that's how I learned. So so why am I saying this? Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that we have to experience every aspect of life. Let me just be specific. Yes, we will experience being murdered. We will murder in a particular lifetime. We will experience being raped. We will rape in a given lifetime. We will experience being born to a drug addicted mother. We will experience a life of drug addiction. We're going to have all those experiences. Do I like it? Heck no, because I see, as you see, the dysfunction and all of the negative things that come about, the problems with children and the people, and it's all the shit that comes with those things. What I would call the bad things. But this was a decision that we made that we wanted to do, and so we have the life experience. So we go through life, and we start off on it with a blank slate, not knowing anything, not knowing even what love is. We have to learn through our experiences what love is. So we all start off as psychopaths, and I talk about that in a different video. But let me get back to why I'm talking about this. So be careful, please don't let sex and the desire for a lot of money and material things be your focus. Because you was, you going it's you will not grow quickly. You will have many more lifetimes to come back and continue through this. And if you think living this life is like the greatest thing, best experience, okay, then go ahead and play around. But I'm at a point where I don't want to come back to this earth and deal with all this mess. I've dealt with a lot of shit, and I don't want to have to, I'm hoping I learn everything I need to learn, and I could go to a planet, because people live on other planets, not people, but they're different life forms, because we are spirits, remember, and we inhabit different types of bodies. Here we just inhabit a human body, but we can live on a different planet and in a different form. Okay? So my goal is this is my goal, to get the fuck up off of Earth and go and dwell on a planet or in a spirit realm where the foundation is already established as love, where everybody there already love. They already have love in their heart. They already have kindness and caring in heart. That's already established. You understand? We ain't got no destruction of our earth, polluting our water and poisoning our air, and people doing all kind of dysfunctional shit. I want out of that. So I'm working really hard, to learn and get to that place. I don't want to come. Only reason I would come back to Earth is if I'm here to help, to make a difference. That's it. I'm really hoping that I have passed, especially after 400 freaking lifetimes. I don't know if they were all on Earth. That, but I truly, I feel like, I've been a slow learner, especially with this lifetime. But, so anyway, I think I started rambling. But, yeah, learn the reason for life. Learn why you exist, why you are here, so that you don't waste time. So that you don't have to live 6, 7, 800 lifetimes on Earth because you didn't get it. Nobody explained it to you. It's unclear. You messed up. You made so many mistakes. You got so much karma built up. There's good and bad karma. You got so, that you got to pay back, that it keeps you earthbound. I don't want to be earthbound anymore. So I'm very careful in my word and in my deed. And I do my best to love myself and show love to others. But I'm also very assertive. I will not allow anybody to mistreat me or abuse me. That's not going to happen. Okay? So you can be very loving, but also be very self-respectful and assertive. So yeah, y'all. And I'll come back. I'll do another video about me and my personal life situation. But yeah, don't get bogged down with the sex and the any drugs, and caught up in materialism and all this stuff, because this is not your only lifetime. This is not it. Okay? Do your research. Bye.